Good morning and welcome to the Daily Reset. We are meeting after one of the most intense sessions yesterday. The question I asked yesterday was not for you, it was for me. Now, the question was Mogire, Job Mogire, or as they call me, Chobu, are you man enough? The whole day I am driving, the question won't leave me alone. I'm having coffee, the question won't leave me alone. I was reflecting in the morning, the question wouldn't leave me alone. I went to the gym at 5:30, the question wouldn't leave me alone. In other words, I didn't have to decide to come with 10/10 energy, 10/10 order, 10/10 ownership, 10/10 clarity, 10/10 desire. And of course, I would like to get 10/10 capacity. I did not have to decide. By the time I got into any room I was going to, the question was already there. By the time I got to the clinic, the question was already there. And I made the decision we spoke about yesterday that the most powerful way to lead myself is to direct myself. And I made it very specific. The most powerful way for me to talk to myself is to direct myself. And the whole day, some people might have overheard me whispering to myself. When I got into the room and there was no one else, I kind of just said the key thing in that moment, said it myself. So I want to see, some of you are trying self-coaching for the first time. I want you to make sure that you are self-coaching yourself with the truth. Use your spiritual truth, the deepest things that you believe. Let those be the anchor of what you coach yourself, because there's a difference between coaching yourself and BSing yourself. And in this community, BS is business studies. So you don't want to BS yourself, because otherwise it's very easy. We do that all the time. It is 4:30 in the morning. You had committed to wake up at 4:30. With your sleepy brain, you convince yourself that if you sleep 15 more minutes, you're going to wake up. The next thing you know, it is 7 a.m. That is called business studying yourself, because you are taking the crackerhead brain. The brain in the morning is an addict brain. It can't make it. That brain shouldn't make any decisions. But then you are, I just need to sleep for 20 more minutes. If you slept for 6 hours and that was not enough, 15 more minutes. And I found myself today, I got into the gym in the nick of time. I'm working with a trainer. I need to show up at least 15 minutes to warm up. But I walked through the weights with the trainer because I had not had time to stretch. And that's because I had a session of business studies with myself and my alarm. So you have to make sure it's business studies is going to show up. That is a subject that nobody ever graduates from. You just have to keep, discarding those assignments, right? I showed up to I'm paying my coach to train me, and I need to make sure that by the time I start working with him, I am ready. But we walked to the weights at the same time. And I'm telling you this on Daily Reset. Yes, my name is Job Mogire. I've been doing this all along. Because this is the truth. This is the reality. And I had to have a session with myself, speaking intentionally what is going to happen tomorrow. No matter what happens, I have already decided I'm already questioning, am I man enough to show up those 15 minutes before the session? Because that's what needs to happen. So let's hear. I'm going to, I don't know whether to call out anyone or to just open it, and just let me leave it open. Could I please hear from 3-4 people really briefly? What was your key takeaway from yesterday? Because I would like it verbalized for yourself, but also for everyone else. At the count of 3, if I don't hear from any volunteers, I will call out a couple of you. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, all of you. Now you are all eligible to be nominated. I'm really proud of you for this achievement. Ruth, good morning and congratulations for being the first nominee. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Ruth. Okay, Daktari, tell us.
Good morning. My old instructions are saying, I sincerely wish you picked my friend Abby. Yeah, thank you. I totally agree. That question. And I remember even negotiating and getting into a moment of the business studies and saying, when you say, am I man enough? Yes, man enough is a thing. Woman enough? Woman is delicate. We negotiate. There's no harm. There's no harm by they not. However, so I asked myself, have I done this before? And I realized I had been doing it without, the awareness I have now. Mostly it's in terms of I direct my week. I do my to-do. I like to write it and I wake up and I read them. I write on stickers. This week I will 1, 2, 3, 4, and I come and tick like what Florence I said. I don't know if it was Florence or Renee. She circles. She circles.
Yeah.
And that helps me to stick to it. So I evaluate myself and I go, hey, it's already Wednesday, and this one I am 20% or things like that. So I interrogate myself. And yes, sometimes it gets hard and you want to quit. So recently, of course, there are things like physical fitness that were not priority for me. And now I have to tell myself, I will not feel helpless about this. I am given those 15 minutes in the morning. They must fit in my morning schedule before I get going. So yes, I am trying to be woman enough by, I like to call it not just directing, but commanding myself. Because I once read this thing that says, if you don't obey yourself, you will be commanded. So I don't have to be subject to the external forces controlling my day, the circumstances and environment because it's very volatile. The inner voice must remember today, I am coming with order 10 over 10. I am showing up 10 over 10. I am doing what I'm supposed to do to my best. Thank you.
Wow, that's you made it very difficult for me to focus because of what you said at the beginning. Yes, woman enough is a thing. In fact, woman is the only expression that contains man within it. When we say man, it excludes, but woman, maybe you should actually use woman enough. Yeah, that's a really, really beautiful share, Ruth. I feel the heart behind the words, and it is so authentic. And I'm so grateful that you gave us our next respondent. So, ladies and gentlemen, we thank Dr. Ruth for already nominating our next respondent. Anybody who was named by Dr. Ruth? Anybody? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Job. Yeah, so I think for me, what stood out yesterday was about that voicing it. Yeah. I think the thing that happens is when we leave our thoughts in our heads, even when we have good intentions, the negative ones supersede somehow, the limiting thoughts, the old instructions somehow supersede. And so learning to speak out. Even yesterday, in the course of the day, just speaking out was transformational. And also, the other thing as well that stood out was about now really being keen on the automation. Yeah, that's something I'm working on, to automate those things that really should not be put on the to-do list. Yeah, they should be automatic. Yeah, which now creates room for the things that the things that we ought now to do, to focus on. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Abby. That's a very strong echo of some of what has already come up in the morning. Automation is just, my goodness. I would tell you, some of my colleagues look at the way I approach some of the studies that I read, and they can't understand why I still use a template. That's because the template just ensures that I don't have to think about the logistical side. I think about the analysis in terms of, okay, so these are the findings, what do they mean? So that my brain power is not focused on remembering whether I have done step A, B, and C. So automation just changes everything. I need to automate my alarm better to make sure that I create the 20 additional minutes now that I'm going to a different gym that requires a slightly longer driving time. So thank you, Ruth and Abby. I'm going to call our next correspondent. I'm going to call Nicole because you are still one of our newer members. Nicole and Lillian. I see you. Lillian, get ready. Nicole, let's go.
Thank you. And good morning, everyone. Good morning, Coach. I'm just a sponge right now, absorbing everything that is coming out. But yesterday was also quite mind-blowing for me. I think what really stood out is that this is the year. And that's something that I've really been resonating and feeling deep down, that for me, this is the year that, a change has to happen. And it's the year that I have to make some decisions. And it's a year that will catapult me. Like, this for me is the decision year, the year that will change everything for me. And that's how I really believe that God led me to this platform, because it's something I had been thinking of. Okay, I know that this is my make it or break it, but how do I equip myself? What do I do? And voila, I found myself just stumbling over the House of Mastery. And I think with the sessions that so far I've been through, the daily reset, I remember Gladys telling me, are you committed? I'm like, I am 100%. And just being able to wake up for me is already a win. It's something I had been struggling with. So I believe the term is automation. I'm also now trying to automate. But hearing you yesterday, I knew that I was in the right place. So making that decision and doing it afraid, doing it with pain, through the struggle. But I know by God's grace, December, as I'm looking back at the year, then this would have been one of those very best decisions that I've made. And so I'm so happy to be here. I'm just a sponge. I just want to unlearn, relearn, and absorb everything as it's coming my way. So I'm really just happy that I'm here.
Welcome to the community, Nicole. Welcome. I will tell you, there are members who have been here year after year, month after month. I think there's a reason why they have decided to stay. And do not measure this community by the size. And I have to keep reminding myself that over and over, because each of the faces you see on the screen is a village. Each of these faces is a village. There will be a Nyambura village. There will be a Blanchette village. There will be a Shiro Mwangi village. There will be someone standing on stage saying, let me tell you the story of my great-grandmother. And that is Shiro. So when you look at Shiro like this, you're looking at a future great-grandmother, right? There will be a street named, you see that building? That is the Shiro house. And just the seeds that you plant today, right? It's that this is going to happen. This is going to happen just by the virtue of the fact that you are here. Lillian, we have the privilege of hearing. I would love to see you on camera, but if you're not able, but still I would love to hear from you. Are you able to speak? At the count of 3, I would presume maybe you're not able to and move on. 3, 2, 1.
Maybe I could just say good morning. I don't really have much
Okay.
to say.
Okay. All right. Let's continue. Let's continue engaging. Thank you, Lillian. Now, the season we are in is the season when you really get to crystallize your goals. If you haven't attended any session before on this year, decide, commit, resolve, I would like you to go to the YouTube channel. You will find a couple of sessions that actually cover that. Resolution. Today during lunchtime, I work in a big hospital, but 2 times a week I go to a peripheral clinic in a smaller town that has a really beautiful building with a big parking lot that has a walking track around it. How does this year become physical? This year becomes physical because I have to have the resources that I will commit. And I decide I am going to walk at 12 as soon as I finish seeing my last patient for the morning. That is the decision. I commit. So that time I know that I will not have lunch for the next 25 minutes because I'll be walking. What is the resolution? The resolution is that once I start walking from one end of the building, I have to go around the entire track until I come back to the door where I get in. There's only one door where I have to use my badge to scan and go in. This is the season when you set your goals, but it is also the season when you resolve. And the value of a resolution is committing you on a path where you prove your own credibility to yourself. Because credibility is about doing something until it becomes credible. I can give you credit for what you do on a repeated basis. And that's the power of a resolution. Because the most transformative decisions in my life, in your life, are the decisions you make, whether you make them slowly or quickly, but ideally, if you don't waste time making them, you make it quickly, but you change it slowly. Because the power of the transformation is not in the decision, it is in the resolution. Proving yourself that you can gain the internal credibility to show up and complete what you commit to do. That credibility becomes the currency you carry with yourself. It becomes the reputation you carry with yourself. It becomes the self-trust. So that when you ask yourself the question, am I man enough? It is not about you showing up. It's about you showing up and staying. Showing up with 10 over 10 order and staying even when it becomes discouraging. Showing up with 10 over 10 desire and staying when you get distracted. Showing up with 10 over 10 clarity and staying when confusion shows up. Because you are building internal reputation. You are building internal credibility. You are proving to yourself in a way that nobody and nothing can steal it from you. You build a reputation. People say that guard your reputation with all your might, with all your power. The most powerful reputation is not external reputation. The most powerful reputation you have to protect is the internal reputation. The inner reputation. Staying on track. So that when it gets to the point where you sit down and say, today I'm going to do 3 things, let anybody else doubt you, but not yourself. And let anybody else doubt you because they don't know you, because they don't know your reputation. They may know the external reputation, they don't know the internal reputation. So that if I take my internal reputation in this area where I have decided, I committed, and I have resolved, and I repeat that resolution by completing it, I am ready for the next level. That's why I gave you the example yesterday. Can you imagine what a pilot will think of himself if he has 10 flights and the first 5 flights he starts running to go take off, halfway through he stops. The second flight he starts running off, halfway through he stops, and he does that for 5 flights. What is going to happen by the 6th flight? He doesn't need critics. The critic in here already knows. We never complete the flight. We set goals. 2011, what happened? Oh, we wanted to work out. 2012, oh, we wanted to work out. 2013, oh, we didn't even want, we decided we are not doing resolutions. We went online and said no resolution here because the reputation has already been formed that we make resolutions, but we don't even follow through with those resolutions. The most powerful reputation, the most powerful source of credibility is internal. Guard your heart with all your might, because out of it flow the issues. What issues? Perhaps this is the season when I stop searching for confidence in other people's faces and begin to find the confidence in the strength of my conviction, in the strength of my resolution, in that clear determination to show up even when I'm discouraged, to show up even when I'm discouraged and it's difficult and I'm not even sure, to just show up. But show up and show up with community, show up and show up with support. Because credibility, that inner reputation, that inner trust, is the single most powerful ingredient that is lacking in some people's lives to break through, to literally break through to the next level. The daily reset is anchored on the word intentionality. I don't know if what you are seeing, whether you are seeing the shared screen. Are you seeing the shared slides?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Intentionality. That is the anchor. Intentionality. Intentionality is the power of creation. Intentionality, that power, that irrevocable principle, irresistible principle, it gives me the power to embody. It gives me the power to embody. The intentionality to show up even when it's not easy, even when you're alone, even when you're discouraged. Ideally, don't show up alone. Be part of a community that is headed in the right direction. But still, even when you're part of a community, you still have to wake up. You still have to work out. You still have to show up. Intentionality gives me the power. Intentionality gives me the power. If I can commit to intentionality with all my being, I don't have to borrow power. I don't have to borrow order. I don't have to borrow clarity and desire. I just have to show up intentionally. My clarity might start off as clear as mud, but it will clarify. It will be distilled because intentionality gives me the power to embody, the identity. It gives me the power. I don't have to search, I don't have to borrow, I don't have to hope for. I know that intentionality will give me the power. I may not feel that power day 1 or day 2 or day 3, but I know that it gives me the power to embody the identity. The identity, it's not a random identity, it's the identity that God designed the identity that God designed for me. I would like you today, based on what as we have shared this week, based on the themes that have been the strongest in this season, based on where you are today, pick the most aligned identity, what aligns the most with you this morning. Is it steadfastness? Is it persistence? Is it decisiveness? Is it being unwavering? Is it being unyielding? Is it being single-minded? Pick one. Is it being tenacious? And I want you to narrow down to one. Narrow down to one. You activate intentionality with single-mindedness. It's very easy to try and put three together. I'm steadfast, committed, and purposeful. Yeah. We dilute the power of intentionality when we try to go broad. Pick one. And then let's read the declaration together. I used to feel powerless. Can you imagine it? I used to feel powerless. I used to allow external forces and limiting beliefs to hold me back. But today I say, enough is enough. From this moment, I am seizing back my power. Today, I have decided to direct my intentions. Today, I am committed to master my focus. Today, I have resolved to take command of my actions. Today, I'm shedding outdated beliefs, outdated mindsets, and outdated perceptions. I am determined to shape my reality with purpose. I am eager to unlock my true potential. And I am willing to move to my next level. I would like you to write down 3 statements that start with today. Let them come out of your heart. Today, write what comes out, and you're not copying what is on the declaration. You are releasing what's in your spirit. Start each statement with today. 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 You as woman enough, you as man enough today. Because you are planting this seed, you are taking it out of the bag and you're putting it in the soil. You write them down and you verbalize them. Today, 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 today for you. Today. If you have something down and something more powerful comes up, you release that. You subjugate the smaller one to the deeper one. Today. 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 From this moment, I am seizing back my power. I have decided to direct my intentions. I am committed to master my focus. I have resolved to take command of my actions. Today, I'm shading outdated beliefs, outdated mindsets, and outdated perceptions. I am determined to shape my reality with purpose. I am eager to unlock my true potential. And I'm willing to move to my next level. That brings us to the daily reset. Proceed with doing your daily reset. Make sure you share it before you leave the room. Make sure you spend time actually shaping what this day is going to look like for you. I look forward to see you again tomorrow for our final day of this week. My name is Dr. Job Mogire. Where I come from, they call me Chobu. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.